Yo, what's good, everybody? We got another Beers with Barton. It is Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. Yes, that means we're almost a quarter of the way through 2025 already. Crazy. I know. Well, I hope everyone had a great weekend. It's going to be Monday. It's after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. Charlotte, North Carolina, Concord, North Carolina, and Mondays keep showing up. But I just got back from a pretty awesome trip. Worst best friends bachelor party. We went to Louisville, Kentucky, to do the Bourbon Trail. So we flew out Thursday afternoon. Troy actually came here to my house. We went and picked up my other buddy, Jeremy, the head brewer at the farm. Hit the airport, got checked, got through security and all that good stuff. Two other buddies met us there. We flew out about 1:30, landed a little after 3. It's like an hour and a half flight, but it's really like 45 minutes in the air. It's a really, really quick flight. So we flew there. Worst best friend had a brilliant idea. We had to check bags, even though we were only going for a couple days, because we wanted to bring bourbon bottles back. Got to check them. So we actually upgraded to first class. It was like $67, and to pay for a check bag, it was $50. So it's like a no-brainer. So smaller plane, not real first class, but it's still cool. So got on the plane, had a couple drinks on the way there. One of our buddies rented a car for us to DD for the weekend. And so we grabbed the car at the airport. There's 5 of us this time. Our other buddy showed up on Friday. Get to that in a minute, but could barely fit all of our suitcases that were basically 90% empty because we had a bunch of stuff in backpacks or half-empty suitcases because we wanted to bring bottles back. I didn't know what we were going to find. So hit the grocery store, went to the VRBO. It was cool, hung out, got settled in, went and found a really nice barbecue spot in downtown Louisville, we were like 10 minutes from there. And then we went to Michter's. They had like a nice tasting bar. So got to taste these like special Michter's. Just kind of hung out and did that on Thursday night. Ended up going back to the house, chilled, watched some college basketball Thursday. Friday we woke up, got rolling pretty early, about 9. We had our first tour at Bardstown at 10:30, I want to say, and it was about 45 minutes away. So we left about 9ish. Bardstown's amazing. They've actually been a distiller since 2014. I won't go into all the history here, but it's amazing. Look it up, what they've been doing, how they're different from other distillers. Always like Bardstown. It looked like a beautiful brand new college campus. Huge, huge, huge. A lot of special. The tour was amazing. The tour guide was great. Got to taste some special stuff. Got to thieve the barrels. They pulled our shots directly out of barrels right there in the rick houses. So that was awesome. Grabbed a bottle, and then we drove to Heaven Hill, which is another brewer, which I like, a distiller, which I like, but we didn't do a tour. We just had lunch. They have a really good kitchen, fantastic food. Hit their gift shop, and our other buddy who flew in Friday ended up meeting us there from the airport, and then we headed over to our second tour of the day, Willett, which is family owned still. That one was really cool, older. Spent time there, grabbed some bottles. It was really cool. Again, they do it different. All these distillers do things so differently, but there's such cool history and differences on how they do things. So after that tour, headed back to the house, watched Carolina drop a heartbreaker. They're down like 20 again to Ole Miss, who's beating Iowa State by like 20 right now at halftime. So came all the way back, was down by 2, ended up losing by 7 at the end. So season over. That was Friday. We ended up going back into Louisville, downtown, to this amazing steakhouse called Repeal. Probably some of the best food I've ever had. The steak was great, although it was just so much. But man, the appetizers and all the other stuff were great. Some of the biggest prawns I've ever seen. It looked like a lobster tail. Great, amazing bourbon, of course. We're in Bourbon County, Bourbon Country. Really enjoyed that dinner. Went back to the house again on Friday. Watched basketball, drank beers, hung out, had a good time, drank some bourbons. Saturday, got up again, left around 9ish. We had Buffalo Trace at 10 o'clock. This is about 45 minutes away. The first two were in Bardstown. These were in Frankfort. they're about 45, 50 minutes from our house. Louisville's kind of centralized, opposite direction. So went to experience Buffalo Trace, the OG. It was great. We got a Blanton's. That was what was allocated for the day, and some Buffalo Traces, and great tour. Really enjoyed it. Great history. Our tour guide, it was her third tour ever, so she's kind of nervous. She did fantastic. Really enjoyed that. Then we headed over to, let's see, we grabbed some lunch somewhere. I can't remember where. Oh, we found a cool Mexican spot, grabbed some lunch, then made it over to Woodford Reserve. Yep, steady Woodford Reserve. They've been around since 1994, I believe. So, and they don't do a lot of experimenting. They just do the same thing over and over. But their campus was amazing. The tour was amazing. It was probably my favorite tour, and great tasting as well. Grabbed some bottles, and then we headed back towards Louisville. Stopped at a couple different liquor stores to try to find some other bottles, which we did. Found this really cool bottle bar where I found a cool bottle. A lot of other guys did too. Then we went and had some Korean barbecue for dinner. Phenomenal. Really good. Hit another couple stores, found some more bottles, and then we went back to the house. One of the guys found an Eagle Rare 17 year, which I've never seen in my life. Can't even tell you what the price tag was. It was so crazy. And we drank some of that to celebrate Worst Best Friends Impeding Marriage, which is coming up in about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, I think. Just hung out last night, and we all spent time packaging up all our bottles in our suitcases. One of my other buddies only brought a backpack, so I fit my 7 bottles and his 4 in my suitcase with like dirty laundry. And we'd actually bought these special like bubble wrap type bourbon bags. They all made them back. Luckily the hosts were nice enough to let us stay till 1 o'clock. Our checkout was 10, but our flight was until 3. So we just hung out at the house and had some good times. And then we headed to the airport, got our bags checked in, which was good. And then just hung out at a bar until we got on a plane. Flight was pretty easy, a little bumpy on the landing, but all of our bottles survived. And then, my buddy's 4 bottles survived. He grabbed them. His wife picked him up and took my other buddy home. Other 2 buddies bounced. And then Troy and I had left my truck at the parking there. Drove back here because his car was here. And then he headed out. And it was great. What a fantastic trip. Jessica, went to pick up Michaela and some of her friends. They did youth group tonight. And then I just unpacked and started trying to find room for all my bourbon bottles to add to my current collection anyway. And then she came and picked me up. I went to dinner with Jess, Michaela, and some friends. We just dropped them off at the house a little bit ago. So finishing up laundry and gonna have to get myself ready here for bed as back to the office tomorrow. But what a great trip. 4 distilleries. And actually on Saturday, we actually last second we did 2 tours, and then we did a tasting at Wild Turkey. So no tour, just tasting. We got to taste one of the master craft, which is like it's not out there anymore. If they ever release it, it's gone in like a day. And this was one from, I want to say 2022 is what the guy said. And so that was really cool. But just a great experience. Great memories. Had a good time. 4 days was long enough. I'm home. I'm tired. I'm old. Ate way too much, drank way too much, but it was worth every minute and every dollar spent, because that's all that matters. So really enjoyed it. I know Troy did. I know the guys did. Everyone got some good bottles to bring home and add to their collection. And remember the trip by. So I really enjoyed it. I am glad to be home. I am tired. I'm ready to get myself ready for bed. Try to get a good night's sleep and get myself back on a rhythm starting tomorrow. But really enjoyed the trip. Great group of guys. I've known all these guys for a long time. I mean, I've known Troy for 17 years. I've known Jeremy even longer than, about the same, about 17 years. I've known Rob for probably before COVID, so 5 to 7 through Jeremy. And then Mike and Clint, I met through Troy. He hangs out with them. They go to poker tournaments together, which is not my thing, and I play basketball with them. I've known those guys for a while, definitely before COVID, but first time I'd gone on a trip with them. So some of the guys didn't know each other, but everyone got along. It was great. Had a really, really fun time. Super thankful to Mike. He rented the car and was our designated driver for this trip, which was huge. It's a big part when you're doing bourbon tours to have someone who's not drinking and who will drive you around. So thanks to Mike. So cheers. Had a great time. Gonna drink the last promise ring I had from a while ago because my boy Troy is giving that promise ring here pretty soon. It's not even a promise ring. I think it's a wedding ring. So, yeah, really happy with the haul. There's so many good bourbons and bottles. Yeah, like there was a Pappy Van Winkle. There was one bottle left, and my boy Mike wanted to grab it. He had a good buddy back home who he wanted to get it for a special occasion. So I deferred to him and let him spend it. Not that I wouldn't have spent the $600, especially now, because we went around to some other places and we found another one for like $1,300, another one for $1,500. So they don't regulate it there in Louisville like they do here in North Carolina, so people can sell it as they want. Would have been very happy with the Pappy Van Winkle if I brought it home, but I'm not that sad that I didn't spend the money. My buddy got it for a good reason. So cheers. This one's to Troy and to all you guys. What a great trip. Hats off to Jeremy for really basically planting the idea of doing it. We ran with it, and then Troy put all the work in of all the tours he wanted to go to. So it was awesome. Had such a good time. I'm very happy to be home. I'm very tired. Kind of hard to find something for the girls on a on a bourbon trail trip. Michaela doesn't like do snow globes anymore. She doesn't like t-shirts. She doesn't like that type of stuff. So it's kind of hard. But I did find her some Kentucky gummy bears. Apparently some of the history is, especially during the Prohibition time, there's a lot of confection that got picked up and started there. So this is something that's done, those gummy bears. And then bourbon balls. These are made with real bourbon. These are the ones from Woodford that I grabbed, but a lot of the breweries do them. A lot of the distillers do them. And you got one pretty much with every tasting, with like your last bourbon taste. So it's pretty cool. They kind of pair it with it, but made with real bourbon. So Michaela cannot try those. They are delicious. They're not super boozy. They're not super sweet. They're fantastic. They've been doing it for like 100 years out there. So pretty cool. So cheers again. A little promise ring, 6.2. What a great trip. Cheers. All right, I think that's about enough for me. I think it's time for me to shower, call it a night, call it a weekend. Tomorrow's going to be a long day, especially going back into the office, but it's what we do. Get myself back on a schedule. So another fantastic trip, amazing memories. So thankful I got to do it, that it worked out, especially with these guys. Had such a good trip, and I found several really good bottles. Got a Blanton's, got a new Woodford. That's the 151st celebration of the Kentucky Derby. So they have like a really cool new art that they do at Bardstown. I got this, what they call Series 11, which is out of production. They had a handful of bottles left. You'll never see it again. Got to taste that. It was great. Got a Buffalo Trace just because I was there. Got a little book, which was cool. A Stag, and I can't remember what my last one was. I had 7 bottles. Buffalo Trace, Blanton's, Bardstown Series 11, Little Book, Stag. Anyways, I got 7 bottles. I'm happy with all of them. And here we are. So cheers. Bachelor party success, bourbon trail success. Can't really complain. Until next time, deuces.